Aquaba. No, for real though. This is a real story. It happened to Chimamanda, a Nigerian writer. She went to France, I think, in 2018 to promote a book.
Okay.
And the lady who was interviewing her, during an interview, one of the questions she asked was, I think, do they have library in Nigeria?
Say what?
And then her response was like,
I beg your pardon?
shocking it would do. Yeah.
That is very interesting.
And then she also asked, she wasn't certified. She also asked, do they read books in Nigeria?
Wow.
Yeah. And then the Chimamanda went off on her.
It's
she's like the Nobel Prize winner for literature, I think was in 1990 something or something. He wrote this book they called Things Fall Apart. You read Things Fall Apart?
Yeah, Things Fall Apart. I did it in high school.
Yeah, I did it in high school.
I did it in high school.
What fall apart and things fall apart and what will fall apart?
No. Anyway. Hey guys, it's your boy Hey Crispin. I'm back again here today, and of course my name is Crispin, and today with me I have once again
Flomo. You're always there.
Yes, and today we're gonna be having something another interesting topic. Today our topic is about perceptions people have about African people. Okay, I'm sure wherever you are or you're watching us right now, you've actually encountered foreigners ignorantly asking you questions that you find like, really? You really want to know this? If in case you are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And this video is for people that actually live in outside Africa, because usually we, the diaspora, people that live outside Africa, get to ask a lot of questions like this, and sometimes we don't even know how to answer it.
Sometimes they don't even ask, they just assume.
Exactly. So if in case this video is very important and like good for you, please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
For my Ghanaian brothers and sisters.
Welcome back, guys. If in case you just tuned in, this is the Hey Crispin, and today, like I said earlier on, we're going to be talking about perceptions foreigners have about African people. So with me here with Flomo, we're going to be discussing some of our experiences, or some of the things that we have actually experienced, our foreign friends actually questioning us or questioning our friends that we find surprising and
ignorant.
So Flomo, how was your weekend?
I had an interesting weekend, by the way. My weekend started a bit shaky. Actually, it started really good. I did some study because I'm preparing for my final exam right now, final examination. And after study, I went to training. I was coming back from training, like I got stopped by the police. Apparently, they were looking for a guy who broke into people's house. They got a call from someone that a black guy broke into people's house and
racial profiling,
took something, and I fit the description of the person they were looking for. So they had to check my bag, and they took my ID card. They made some calls and stuff. And later on, he told me, you should be lucky that I spoke to you in English, because if you live in Belgium, you have to speak Dutch or French.
I mean, come on, how?
I asked him, like, then why you accept international students and international people in Brussels? Because I know that Brussels is an international city. Obviously, you won't expect everyone living in Brussels to speak French or Dutch. Yeah, but it just got me down after everything, because I was so angry that people would just stop you and assume that you looked at someone who broke into people's houses, or because they say it was a black man, and they have to stop every black man on the street. Search your bag. If you're searching my bag, what's searching my bag going to do? Like find the person who broke in the house?
I really don't understand.
Yeah, and it got me down a little bit, but I had some good friends who I went home, I talked things with, and yeah, now I'm good.
I mean, actually, I had also a similar situation like this 2 years ago. Similar situation. I was actually going to my Dutch class in the morning, and I had my headset. You know, I love music, right? So I was like with my music, and I was going to class. Apparently, the police was following me like 200 meters, and it was like, hey, 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 I didn't like. And my school is actually in a residential area, okay? So I have to walk through the residential area to the school. So this policeman was calling me for afar, and I didn't hear because I had my mic on, you know, with my school bag and everything. And then after, I think a guy was like, excuse me, like turn around. So when I turned around, I saw the policeman. I was like, I stopped and I took the thing off. I was like, can I see your ID card? I'm like, this is my ID card. Look at it. Where do you stay? I said, I live in Zottegem, like in Belgium, you know. So I was okay. Then he started making some calls, you know, to call, like he called like he called like the city hall to confirm that I like if I live in the in that in that hood, you know. I was still standing there, and my school was starting at 9 o'clock, like 9 a.m., you know. And I was standing there for like 10 minutes, and then he called this call and was like, take your card. I'm like, okay. And then it was like, please be careful when you walk on this street, because last week, like your story, there was a burglary case here, and we are being careful. That's why we are suspecting people. So I'm like, okay, but that's my school over there, you know. I go to school just like literally like that, you know. I'm not, you know, I didn't want to just exchange because already I was already like almost late, you know. I just let it go, you know. So sometimes the racial profiling thing is, yeah, I know they are being careful, but I think it targeted at black people. I think because
Obviously, because you
it
said,
becomes very problematic for foreigners, because sometimes, especially being a black guy in a foreign country, it's difficult for you to sometimes what's it called, save yourself.
yeah, and you know, it's sadly, that's something that I'm trying to get used to. And when I told my other friends who happens to be white, and they feel a bit devastated about it, but I think I'm getting used to being stopped by the police and just searching and stuff. And definitely, I know it's not supposed to be like that,
I
because
mean,
I have got stopped several times by the police, and they are claiming more often that they are like they're searching for drugs and stuff. And I'm like, but why are you not stopping other people to search their bags for drugs? And they would take my ID card and run the ID card and all these things. Yeah, it's just sad, but we cannot do nothing about anything about it. The only people who can change the system are the same people who stop us all the time. And
it's very
yeah,
interesting. It's, you see, I have been stopped by the police by only once in my life. That was 2 years ago. But recently, like where I used to live, ever since I came to Belgium, you know what people do? Right in front of my doorstep, people just ask me, "Bro, do you sell some weed?" You know, I've had it like 4 or 5 times. I even posted it. I tweeted it actually. Like you can just stop me on the way, and it's like, "Do you sell drugs?" Sometimes I get inbox. You know, like people go like, "Hey, bro, do you have some weed to sell?" I'm like, why me? I mean, I've never smoked in my life, and I don't have anything against people who smoke. But the mere fact that I'm an African person, I'm a black person, that doesn't mean that I sell drugs.
yeah,
And
that's the sad part about it.
it's very, 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 very embarrassing to me, because anybody can sell drugs. I mean, drugs were not made for African people or like black people, you know. I find it very not acceptable, you know, because for you to just stop me to ask me, first of all, it's for me, I call it more like a disrespect. You
But you
understand?
know, the thing, when you look at it, I feel like black people does not even sell drugs like that,
It is the
because
perception, you know, it's the perception that's
how you call it, we know that the police can stop us at any time to search us. So why would you want to do certain things that you know the police will stop you at any time to search you? The other people, like I'm sorry if I say the other people, but the people who happens to be white, it's easier for them. And it's easier for them to sell drugs because they don't look suspicious according to what, like, in the eye of the police. So it's easier for those people to sell drugs. And if you look at it, most of the people who sell drugs, I don't think they are black people. Obviously, as for me, I don't sell drugs, because why would I even want to sell
in
drugs
the first
when I
place.
can
I mean,
like, it's just so crazy though, for real.
I've had a lot of experiences like that. And I also had this one experience in a country I don't want to mention, okay? Actually, at the airport. I just came from the immigration, and I was in the middle of white people, okay? And this police guy just like randomly picked me in the middle of the whites, the group, was like, come, I should bring my luggage, I was like, okay. I was like, follow me to this room. And then this policeman literally opened my bag and I started searching it. And we Africans, we like to bring African food to.
He was eating
And
some of
then,
the food.
no, he was like, no. He was like, what is this? What is this for? Why is this in a powdery form? Kind of, I'm like, bro, go on Google and check. It's African food. It's not like I'm going to sell drugs or something. It's an African food. I mean, if you come from Africa, some of our foods. Even the airlines will prefer you to have dry food than to have wet food. So my food were all wet. Dry. The police they started opening my bag and be like, oh, this is not. So after it's like, my brother, just close your bag and go. I'm like. So when I was leaving, something just prompted me to just ask a question. So I was like, excuse me, why did you choose me? Because there's a lot of people on the streets. Oh, my friend, don't worry. It was a random check. I'm like, random check? So the people before me, there were like 5 or 6 people. It's an airport, So there was everybody walking around. So if you're telling me that it's a random check, what happens to the people that were in front of me? Didn't you see them?
Yeah.
Or you saw this melanin chocolata, as in this dripping melanin chocolata, and like you just want to stop me to just interrogate me, just embarrass me, in fact, to waste my time, just waste my time. I mean,
where in the Ghana is that language?
Melanin chocolata, of course. I mean, every black person has a melanin, like we got melanin in our body, So sometimes the way black people are being treated, it's very, 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 very discriminative, because I wouldn't. Sometimes you can go to a place and anytime we go out, it's the black people who suffers a lot, Black people, we tend to suffer a lot, and sometimes I don't know whether if it's a curse or it's a blessing to be a black person.
Obviously, it's not a curse, and I'm proud to be who I am.
Of course,
I would not change for anything. I think it just takes some learning and stuff, because people just find us suspicious, and for me, that's why I tell my friends, I'm like, if you see me suspicious, or if you find me suspicious, that not on me, that have everything to do with you. It have everything to do with your prejudice, and but that's why I try to surround myself with people who I know love me, and who see me for me as well. Because obviously, it's not a curse, and we cannot do anything about it.
I mean,
just like when it comes to gender discrimination or female violence, women cannot change it, because they are not the one who are the problems. The people who are the problems are men. So men are the one who can stop gender discrimination or sexual violence. That's the same thing with racism. Black people are not the one who being racist on themselves. It's the police, the white people and stuff. So the people who can change the system or who can stop it would be the white people. Yeah.
So true. So if you guys are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe. It's Hey Crispin, and of course on Instagram is Crispin Godwin, and Facebook is Crispin Godwin, and my Snapchat is
Godwin.
Yeah, actually I'm called Godwin.
Oh, okay.
Godwins.
Your parents. You're talking about slaves' name. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of freemen, carpenter, walker, Smith in Liberia, and the history of those names. Especially for freemen, there's a lot of freemen in Liberia. They said doing the slave trade in the U.S. when those guys when our people when they were enslaved, when you got set free, freeman, which means you're free. Freeman
emancipation.
Yeah, freeman became your last name. So when you are Chris Freeman.
Chris Freeman.
Yeah. And we have a lot of freemen in Liberia. When they came back and settled in Liberia, we have a lot of freemen.
Is that why your last name is?
My last name is like my last name.
Freeman.
Hell no, my last name is not Freeman.
My younger Freeman.
I'm an African. No, but those guys are also African. It's just like they're unfortunate for them, they were enslaved. And also like the carpenters and walkers and all those things, and Smith. Like Smith was the blacksmith. Carpenter was those one, like the carpenters and stuff.
Smith.
So your job you did on the field was your last name. Yeah, you have
Then I will be called Crispin Teacher.
you have hunters as well and shit.
Really?
Yeah.
That's very interesting. I never knew this. No, I never knew much about these things. But I mean, come on. I mean, yes,
yeah, we have to read it because
the history is very important. You have to read the history.
the slaves came back and settled in Liberia, and that was how they create. Not they didn't found the Liberia. Liberia was already there. The meaning of Liberia is liberty, and when they came, they named it Liberia because it's called a free land of liberty. They found a new home and stuff. When the American colonization society came, they founded Liberia and they brought the slaves. Actually, the slaves first went to Freetown and set on ship, and then but the malaria was killing them, so they came to Liberia and set on Shepherd Island, and then also on Providence Island. That was how they found that. We have places in Liberia that is named New Georgia. We have McDonald Street. There's a lot of like Newport Street, and there's a lot of those places that are named after. And we also have Maryland in Liberia as well. Yeah, a lot of those places that were named after those places they used to live when they were in the U.S. And even the first name of our capital city was Cristopoli.
Monrovia.
No, the first name was Cristopoli.
Before Monrovia.
Yeah, before Monrovia.
Okay.
Monrovia is actually named after a former American president, James Monroe. We were independent in the 1847, so we were the first independent
1957.
The first independent
Ghana is
country.
1957.
My grandpa is older than you guys.
It's possible. No, listen. Have you ever? I mean, apart from the police stopping you, like to racial profiled.
Yeah.
Have you had any incidents about people having perception of African people?
I haven't. One time I was in the gym. This guy, I think for him it was just ignorant. He tried to have a conversation and he started to speak French. And I'm like,
I don't understand.
Je parle pas français.
Français.
And then he said, Dutch, and I'm like, yeah, I can speak Dutch, but I'm not too fluent. And he's like, well, where are you from? I said, I'm from Liberia.
I thought you were from Congo.
And yeah,
I get this a lot in Belgium.
And he asked, Liberia, where is that? And I'm like, it's in Africa, in West Africa. And he said, why are you fluent at English? You're from Africa, and why do you speak English? I'm like, because there are over 10 countries in Africa that speak English, and also because of colonialism, we had our own languages, give us something else. So I think he just he felt like for him it was just ignorant. He thought that once you are an African, you cannot speak English,
which is true. Because even
it's
me,
not true.
No, for him. I mean, for him, it was true. Because I understand. Even me, like when I speak English, they're like, "Where are you from?
Yeah.
Are you from the UK?" I'm like, "No, I'm from Ghana." Ghana, do you speak English in Ghana? I'm like, "Yeah, we speak English in Ghana." You know,
Yeah.
people, like you said, it's more ignorance.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's not more like racism, discrimination. I don't think it's like that. Sometimes they just don't know.
Yeah, sometimes
And they
just
come
don't
off
know.
as ignorance to us. You understand? For example, I'll give you a scenario. Where was it? I went to Egypt for holidays with my, and we were having, I think, we had like a dinner,
It's a mess.
a dinner, So on the table, there were just two couples that came to the table to sit with us. I think like they were from Germany, okay? And like they were like, excuse me, I love your skin color. I'm like, thank you. And then he went like, they were like a guy and then a woman, so like a couple. They were like, oh, so you're from Africa? I'm like, yeah, but I live in. But then I think I was in Turkey. I forgot where I was. And it was like, okay, so in Africa, how come I'm wearing a brief? Because I was swimming. It was like, how come I'm wearing a brief? Don't I have leaves? I'm like, excuse me. It was like, don't you have leaves? I'm like, which leaves are you talking about? So, oh yeah, African product, like you guys wear leaves. You sleep on trees, and we have They even said we sleep on we no. They said we heard that Africans sleep with animals in a room. I'm like, at that moment, like I lost appetite. And I'm like, I got really really upset. But I left, and I think they felt that they have wronged me or something like that. So they came back to apologize. I'm like, no, no, no. So when they
they did.
yeah, because they for them, I'm like, yeah, because like don't speak like that. So I had to like school them that no, Africans, it's not like that. It's a perception. We don't live in on trees. We don't sleep with animals. We don't what's the word? We don't wear leaves. They are clothes. Actually, we have all the fashion brands in Africa. We have the Zara's, the Prada, the what's it called, the Ralph Lauren. We have everything. Like whatever is Fendi, Christian Dior. We have everything in Africa now. Even McDonald's, like fast food chains. We have KFC. I don't know why people still think that Africa is what's it called? Is
primitive.
Primitive.
Primitive way
I
of living.
sometimes I actually get stressed up trying to explain to people. But I say, and these days also you know what I do? I blame the media. The media doesn't portray African very well to the outside world.
Well, yeah, I think they just show people what the people want to see, and the play with the mind of the people. Like the media will show you what you want to see.
And you know one funny, interesting thing, for example, I'm from Africa, okay, but I've never lived in a hut. That African houses. I've never lived in it before, and I've never lived with an animal in the room before. We only get to see animals in the forest. And you know one thing about now, the country is like the continent is actually developing now. So there's no way you are going to see an elephant or a lion in your compound.
But who be having an elephant?
I don't know. I don't know who went to come and tell them this story. Understand? So sometimes if you have patience, you just have to explain to them that no,
Africa,
it's not like that.
I didn't see a lion or elephant except when I went to the zoo.
Exactly. But you see, like I said, it's perception. It's perception. People think that we're from Africa. We are very loud. The angry black woman. We are very aggressive when we talk. People have this thing about African people that sometimes I find it very, 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 very bad to explain myself, because sometimes I'm like, Crispin, why are you even wasting your breath? They're not going to believe it. And sometimes I also wonder that in this 21st century, why would people even think like that? There is social media. You can actually go on Google and just check.
Well, to be honest, I don't know, because I know that, especially as an African, some of those things can trickle you, and they are very offensive when the people just walk up to you and ask those dumb questions. But sometimes I just give people dumb answers.
I know you can. Sometimes you just have to put some people in their place. I understand, but then again, also you also have to analyze or realize where it's coming from. Some people naturally they are not mentally sensitive.
Like when that guy asked me, if we speak English in Africa, I gave him the same answer that the Nigerian lady gave the how you call it, the interview. I'm like, shocking it we do. And we don't just speak English. We speak English, French, Portuguese, German, Italian. There are people who speak Arabic, and there are also white people living, and there are white Africans.
South Africans, like Namibians, most of them are white.
There are Latin American Africans. We have Indian Africans. So,
sometimes it's very, and how the police, we talked about the police already, but I'm just going back to the police issue. I'm like, why should it always be a black person doing something when everybody can commit a crime? It's always like I feel very offended when I see that a black guy has been stopped, or like a black guy has been done. It's always a black guy this, a black guy that. It's very, very, very not informative for the social media.
Well,
because
it's crazy though, but we cannot do anything about it.
I know we also didn't choose our ethnicity. You understand? Like likewise, the Chinese, the whites, the Red Indians, the Indians. Nobody chose their ethnicities. If you have it, you have it. That's what God gave you, and that's where you belong. You can't even change your ethnicities. Sometimes we have to educate people also as well. But then again, it's 21st century. If you come to me, for example, I'm being honest here, okay? If you come to me in this 21st century, You come and ask me, do we wear clothes? Do we sleep with animals in our rooms? Of course.
No.
People sleep with cats and dogs in
I
Europe.
think if that is like real what to say, I think they were just being rude because no one in the world right now, like I don't know, and maybe I might be wrong, but I don't think you have people part of the world wearing leaves and shit like right now.
I know people just think it's like that, but I mean I've experienced people asking these questions, and I'm like,
That's crazy.
and they have this perception about black people that black people are very strong, you know, they're very, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, like, you know, like well endowed. Black people are very masculine. Black people can actually work on the bed, you know, like, I mean, and black people have big asses and big tits, you know, like, I'm like, come on.
Well,
You know, it's very this.
I know that, but you know,
I want a black man, you know.
Yeah,
I want to be with a black man. The black man can discipline me in bed, you know. Like
sometimes
a black man is the tiger, you know.
People be like, "Oh, I'm not built for black guy, especially in Africa. I want to try a black guy."
I mean,
I'm not a gay.
I go to the bar and I hear people saying that, and I'm like, I want to be with a black guy. I'm like, why black?
So
I want to be with a guy, you know.
I want an African man.
I want an African man, and I'm like, I mean, being endowed is not about ethnicity. I mean, all the continents. I mean, the ethnicities. There are people who are born endowed.
I thought we were talking about something else, but this guy started to talk about sex.
At this point, if you know you are not 18 plus, don't watch this side, okay? This side, don't watch this part of the video, okay? Because
and another thing that happened that people always get wrong sometimes, like some people will walk up to when you guys talking and be like, "Oh, you from? I've never been to Africa. I just been to like
South Africa,
Egypt, Morocco, and
North Africa."
I'm like,
I know.
No, but I think they just expect Africans to be dark.
Yeah, to be dark skinned. Like, you know, until I went to Egypt, I didn't know Egypt had black people. If you go to Aswan and Luxor, and I think that's the south of Egypt, Aswan and Luxor.
There
are black people in Egypt.
Black people living in North Africa.
Yes, I didn't even know they are black. I thought they were all white. Like I thought they were all Middle Eastern, you know, ethnic Arabs. You know, I didn't know. So sometimes people just, and even people think that, like you said, people think that all Africans are black people. Like I was mentioning, in Namibia, in South Africa, most of them are white.
We have white people. We have
mixed.
We have white Liberians as well.
You see?
Yeah.
So sometimes people just have to. Sometimes it's good to travel and then just like educate yourself and don't make a mess out of yourself. As in, don't be stupid. You know, just educate yourself and.
Coming from this guy.
I mean, yeah. I mean, just.
Don't be stupid.
Yes. Don't look like don't come off as you don't read. You know. I mean, don't even read. You can even watch on YouTube. You know, these days.
Yeah, I think
Google is your friend. You know. Hello.
I think people are just lazy when
Google is your friend. You know, try to know about people's
Hey Google.
Like Siri. You know. You just.
Hey Siri.
You just have to get to know all these things because sometimes it's difficult for people to actually explain and keep on. It's like a teacher explains something to a student on and on and on and on and on. It becomes very boring, you know. So guys, today's topic is more about us as in black people.
Oh, I get one.
Yes, so
and another one sometimes, you know, in the gym like that, or when you go to play sports sometimes, those guys will feel like you have an advantage over them because you're an African. They'd be like, Africans, you guys are built different and stuff. I'm like, yeah.
It's the same protein.
My mama just gave birth to me. I came out looking like this.
It's all about work, you know.
I just came out like, ooh, strong.
Macho.
Yeah. See this guy?
So guys, love each and everyone, you know, like each and every one of you, you know, respect people and respect people's.
This one.
Guys, if you get to just tune into, this is the Hey Crispin, and we're talking about black people and the perception people have about us, okay?
About us.
Yes. Actually, I haven't faced a lot of discrimination in my life, but being a black person as I am, as in this chocolate dripping melanin chocolate.
When I go to look for houses on the phone, I call the people, ask me what's the origin and shit.
I mean.
Sometimes you have to go for white friends to make your.
I know, even sometimes jobs, you know, sometimes jobs. I remember I had a friend that went for a job interview, and she was told, like, you are not light enough.
For real?
You are not light enough for this, like, this job. I'm like, I think she wants to be a secretary.
That's crazy.
And they went like, you are not like light enough. Like, you have to be light. I'm like, what are you talking? So what should they? I mean, why did she go to school? Like, if I have to go to school to go through this 3 years, 4 years degree course, I come out, graduate, and you tell me that I have to be light. You're telling me to go and bleach. You know?
My skin do the job or my brain?
I mean, then again, it boils down to ignorance.
Not ignorance, that's being rude.
I mean, don't mind the body. I mean, like, don't mind the outer skin. Mind what is here.
This is how I don't want
It's
to
here. It's here. You just tune it. This is the hair crisping, and I mean, as you can see, Flomo is in his element, you know. He's just feeling the Ghanaian vibes, you know. So guys, I mean, sometimes I just want to be more disciplined, but this guy over here, sometimes I can't even. I can't keep up with him sometimes, you know. But anyway, I love him so much, so I have to just accept him like that. You know?
I like it too.
So I can't, you know. Yeah, we all have a friend like this in our life, don't we? So you know,
for real?
yeah, people like this, they are there, you know. So.
Nigga, you be basing the shit out of me. And
oh my god. So guys, listen, in case you are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And of course, this is Hey Crispin, and once again, we've come to our end of our vlog. But before I leave,
follow me on Instagram at FLOMO_25.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it to you. And also, do you have something to tell them before we go? So guys, yes, I mean, Corona is still real, and love yourself. And if you don't love yourself, how the hell can you love somebody else? You know, love yourself and respect each and everybody's decisions and positions, actually. I love you guys, and I'll see you on my next vlog. Bye, all.